All right, so today we're doing something a little different.
Oh.
Yeah, instead of articles or research, we're going to be doing a deep dive into music.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, you know, I love to figure out the why behind things, and I think this is going to be a great example of that.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to be looking at the lyrics from the song Risk It All by Packedge.
Okay.
Have you heard of this one?
I have heard of it. I'm not super familiar with the lyrics, but I know the song.
Yeah, so this is a track that someone sent in and they wanted us to take a look at it, and I thought it would be really interesting to, like, you know, kind of dissect it, you know, like it's a piece of lyrical DNA and see what we can learn from it.
Yeah, awesome.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting idea. You know, music is such a powerful force. Like, it can really get under our skin. And, you know, I think lyrics are really interesting because they're often where the core message of the song really comes out.
Right.
And it's like getting a window into the artist's mindset, you know, their motivations, like what's driving them.
And this song, Risk It All, it doesn't just hint at its message, it like shouts it at you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that phrase, risk it all, it's like a mantra in the song. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great observation. And, you know, I think it's really interesting because on the surface, risk it all can seem like a very simple message.
Yeah.
But I think when you really dig into it, there's a lot more depth there.
Totally.
It's not just about, like, you know, throwing caution to the wind or being reckless.
Right.
It's more about, like, a whole approach to life.
Right.
You know, and I think the lyrics really speak to that. Like, you know, when they talk about facing hell-bent waters, you know, that paints such a vivid picture in my mind.
Yeah.
What did that make you think of?
You know, it's interesting because you have that phrase and it makes me wonder, like, what are the hell-bent waters that we're all facing?
Oh, that's a great question.
You know, what are those things in our lives that we're kind of like avoiding? Maybe we're a little bit scared to face them.
Yeah. And I think what's really interesting is how the song connects this idea of risk-taking to something even bigger, which is legacy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know that line about setting the legacy right for our sons and daughters?
Yes.
It really struck me because it's like, it's acknowledging this very human need to leave something behind. But it's not just about, like, you know, material wealth or possessions.
Yeah.
It's about values. It's about opportunities. It's about, like, the kind of world that we're creating for, you know, the next generation.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that's so powerful. And I think it's something that we all grapple with.
Totally.
Right? Like, what kind of legacy am I building? What am I actually doing with my life?
What do my actions say about me?
Exactly. And I think it ties back to this idea of risk, because sometimes building something that lasts, building a legacy, it means taking risks.
Yes.
It means being bold. It means pushing past your comfort zone, even if it's scary.
And this is where I think the song takes a really interesting turn because it starts to talk about fatherhood.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like all of a sudden those hell-bent waters, they take on a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
Because now it's not just about you, it's about your kids.
It's about protecting them, providing for them.
Yeah. And there's this like really powerful shift in the lyrics where it goes from a place of fear to a place of determination.
It's like you say, I have to be stronger now.
Yeah.
You know, I actually had a mentor who once told me, responsibility doesn't make you fearless, it just makes you braver.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
It's true though, right?
So, like, you don't necessarily lose the fear, but you push through it because there's something more important at stake.
And it makes you think about, you know, all those times in life where we get thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, new job, new relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Becoming a parent, yeah.
And it's terrifying. But those are the moments where we grow the most, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are the defining moments, the leaps of faith.
And you know what I think is really cool is that the song doesn't dwell on like the seriousness of it all.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, right?
Yeah. It has this like fun energy too. And I love the part where he talks about money machines and peanut coladas.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great imagery. It's like he saying, hey, the hard work, the grind, it's all worth it.
Totally.
There's reward on the other side.
Even if it's just that one drink, right?
Exactly.
And that ties into something that I think is really powerful, and I think the song does a really good job of this, is this idea of visualization.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, he paints such a clear picture in the lyrics of what success looks like, and I'm curious what you think about this, but do you think that's an important part of, you know, achieving your goals, is being able to visualize it?
I think it's crucial.
Yeah.
Because you have to see it, you have to feel it to make it real.
Totally. And the song doesn't let you off the hook. Like, even after it tells you to visualize it, it's like, wait a minute, why not now?
Yeah. That's right.
Like, what are you waiting for?
It's a call to action, right? This is the song saying, stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. You have to go after it now.
Yeah, like it's now or never.
Yeah.
So what do you think the big takeaway is for listeners? If they walk away and they're like, this song is the soundtrack of my life, what do you hope they get from it?
I think the biggest takeaway is that risk it all is more than just a phrase. It's a mindset. It's about looking fear in the face and saying, you know what, I'm going for it.
You only live once, right?
That's right. You only get one shot, so make it count.
That's awesome. I love it.
So I'm curious, what would the theme song to your life sound like? What would it say?
Oh, that's a great question for another time.